So microplastics in the brain. What do microplastics do to the brain? Hi, Dr. Spoonful here today. I've been learning more and more about these microplastics, and they are just mind-boggling as to what we're finding out and what's happening. This is just a recent, I have notes here I'm going to read off here, but this is just a recent study, February 3rd, 2025, and this was about microplastics in the brain. And so they found that the particles were between 5 nanometers and 5 millimeters in size. Quite a range, right? Pretty big, pretty small. But the concentration of microplastics in the brain is more than any other organ, and about the average of 7 grams, which is about 1 spoon. Now, not 1 spoonful, a full spoon like I got here sticking in my brain, right? And so I think that's pretty amazing to think that there's a spoon stuck in my brain, or the equivalent of. So I wonder what other parts of the brain it's getting rid of. But what's interesting is now, they're doing more research, that's for sure. Although they're finding that, or they're stating that the long-term health implications are relatively unknown. But follow me here as I share some of the information that I've been finding out here. And so these microplastics create inflammation in the brain, oxidative stress, which means the oxygen breaks down the tissues, the cell membranes and so forth, which causes a disruption of brain function, which leads to neurodegenerative diseases, which leads to cell damage, which leads to changes in the brain structure. So just think about that, right? So we have inflammation, starts a process going on, oxidative stress. You start breaking things, the tissues down, the cells down, really. Obviously, it's going to lead to a brain dysfunction and neurodegenerative diseases and cell damage and change in the brain structure. So I find it interesting. A lot of people say, well, do you have any more research? It's like, well, the initial findings, the initial research is showing that there are devastating effects of these microplastics. So why not start now? We know we've been accumulating them for years. We know in our planet, in our world that we're living in, that we know that we've had these plastics going on. And the plastics are found in the olfactory bulb, smelling, right? The prefrontal cortex, which is where our decision making. So sometimes if you're thinking foggy thinking, right? Or maybe your decision process is not quite to where you'd like it to be, or maybe your memory or different things, also in the cerebral spinal fluid. So that's throughout your whole spinal cord, up through your brain and so forth. And so they're finding the microplastics, certainly finding it as far as the blood is concerned, because the company that I work with, Optimal Health Systems, or OHS, we have a new blood test system where you can actually measure the microplastics in the brain. And so we have one gentleman who did the test, very healthy guy, exercised a lot, ate salads, did all the right things, but his blood test for his microplastics came in at 365. Now, the goal is to be less than 30. And this guy's at 365 doing all the healthy things, but they found that he was using Tupperware that he had gotten from his mom or his grandmother. And so all the meals he was bringing in for lunch and so forth, but he was also microwaving. And so we have this product called Chemzyme here, all right, which has an enzyme from bacteria. It's natural, and it breaks down the plastics in your body. And so we did a blood test, and we're doing the test now of pre and post. When I found out about this product, I just jumped right in, so I was already doing the product. But pre and post after 6 weeks. So this gentleman was at 365. After 6 weeks, they found that he was, I think, 26 or something like that. So pretty amazing. And everybody else who's been doing this has also been noticing a significant reduction in the plastics in their bloodstream. Also, I want to mention, too, that far infrared saunas are also a great way of getting rid of the plastics. So the way that we can ingest these microplastics into the brain, or I should say that they enter the brain, is through inhalation, ingestion, and skin contact. So kind of interesting from those standpoints. One of the things that they're finding, which I think is just mind-boggling, is that now they're saying that the construction of the brain, all right, is that it's 99.5% human cells and tissues and 0.5% plastic. And I just think about it, I think even 0.1%, but it's so much plastic now that's in there. And here's some of the interesting things, is some of the foods that contain the microplastics, the most microplastics: breaded shrimp, Himalayan pink salt, which I'm thinking I've got one of these Himalayan salt lamps at home. I wonder what that's doing. I've got to look into that. Processed protein products like fish sticks and chicken nuggets. And so these are some of the things that they're finding as far as the microplastics. But now again, we have this product called Chemzyme, and you take it twice a day, 2 times a day, and you want to take it 2 hours away from food. So either 2 hours before food, 2 hours after food. Also, a good time to take it is at night before you go to sleep. But this product, and my understanding is there's no other product like this on the planet. We have the only phthalazyme, which is the enzyme that works with breaking down microplastics and phthalates and phytic acid and PUFAs. And so it's a pretty amazing product to work with. So, just some of the information that I'm finding that is really having a huge impact on our health. And just think of the brain conditions going on. The brain, we're already stressed out, and our brains are already overloaded with different things. But when you add different things like these plastics into our body, but cognitive function, think of the dementia and the Alzheimer's and all these different types of brain dysfunctions that are happening. Why not get a head start on it and start doing what you can? Because I'm also finding that, for example, when I find people dealing with thyroid issues or men and women with reproductive issues and so forth in their glands, that I've been working with giving them the nutrition, but I find that when I test with the Chemzyme, that the Chemzyme shows stronger and that the body prefers having this over the nutrition. And we start getting really significant changes because I'm finding, especially with thyroid, and I noticed it before when I've worked with people with thyroid issues, when they start changing around their household, what's in their cleaning products and their personal care products and, kitchenware and things like that, that would make a significant change. But now we're really starting to see that this Chemzyme product makes a huge difference. So I'm going to put a link for the Chemzyme in the comments below, and I just think it's fascinating information. I'm just trying to get this information out. So I'd appreciate a like or give me a share. Share this with someone who might be interested, or let me know what your thoughts or questions are about this. So I just think it's pretty amazing, more what we're finding. And we knew that the microplastics were a problem, but I didn't think we realized it was this bad. So I'm Dr. Tom Lankering. I'm known for helping people feel younger and have more energy. Give me a like, share this with people, give me a comment, and appreciate sharing this with you. Thanks. You make it a great day.